Some people don't struggle with needing too much from others. They struggle with believing that they can need anyone at all. We often praise hyperindependence without asking where it comes from or how it affects our relationships and even our life. There's a very big difference between healthy autonomy, which is I trust that I can handle things on my own, but when need be, I can give myself permission to receive help and support from others, and hyperindependence, which is I can only rely on myself because I don't trust others and I believe that relying on others will lead to disappointment and it is unsafe. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the fears beneath hyperindependence because sometimes I don't need anyone is not a lack of need, it is a fear of needing. What exactly is hyperindependence? Hyperindependence is the extreme reliance on yourself where accepting help, showing vulnerability, or depending on others feels extremely uncomfortable or threatening. It shows up as believing needing others makes you weak, feeling uncomfortable when someone takes care of you, struggling to ask for help even when you are overwhelmed, feeling like you have to take care of everything alone, and automatically answering, I am fine, even when you are not fine. The distinction between the two is healthy independence is I trust myself, and hyper independence is I can only trust myself. Hyperindependence often develops as an adaptation. We have discussed before that the nervous system learns through repeated experiences. Some of the experiences that may have led to you developing hyperindependence are number one, emotional inconsistency. When support was unpredictable, you learned not to rely on it. Number two, parentification. This is when you had to grow up too early or to become responsible early. This is like taking care of the adults around you. And by doing so, you learned that everyone needs comes before your own and your needs come last. Number three, emotional neglect. When your emotions were dismissed, ignored, or minimized, you learned that vulnerability leads to rejection. And last but not least, broken trust. When reaching out was met with disappointment, rejection, or criticism, you learned that depending on others is risky. A child who learns that they cannot rely on others often becomes an adult who prides themselves on not needing anyone. What fears are beneath hyperindependence? Let's start with fear number one, fear of being a burden. This is basically the belief that your needs are too much, fear of disappointment. This looks like I would rather struggle alone than experience someone letting me down. Then there is fear of vulnerability. This can look like masking, inability to ask for help even when you are overwhelmed, or just saying I'm fine when you are asked how you're doing, even when you're not fine, or when you're struggling so much, but you are unable to open up to other people and ask them to support you. Then, last but not least, fear of losing control. This is if someone sees how much I depend on them, then they can use that to hurt me. When it comes to hyperindependence, it is less about not needing people and more about protecting yourself from the pain of needing others. How does hyperindependence show up in relationships? Number one, attracting unequal dynamics. This can show up in relationships whereby you always are the fixer, the helper, the strong one, and you end up being emotionally burnt out because for some weird reason the effort is always one sided. And that also leads us to the next point, difficulty receiving care. You can give support and help and care easily, but when it comes to receiving it, that is where the issue is. You feel like every time someone does something for you, you owe them or you have to do something in return. Number three, emotional distance. This can look like you wanting connection or being in need of connection, but then again, not letting people come close enough. It can look like pushing people away when things look serious or somehow some avoidance. Sometimes people don't fear being alone, they fear what happens when they finally let someone in close enough that matters. Healing hyperindependence doesn't mean becoming dependent. It means learning that I don't have to earn care through my usefulness. I can take care of myself and let others care for me too. It means learning that being loved doesn't always mean losing myself, and receiving support or care doesn't make me weak. So, what are the small ways that you can teach your nervous system these new experiences? Number one can look like asking for small forms of help, practicing vulnerability gradually, allowing safe people to show up for you consistently, and noticing discomfort without immediately withdrawing. The goal isn't to become someone who needs everyone. The goal is to become someone who no longer believes that needing anyone is dangerous.